Let's draw some websites. This is a second video where I show you the basics of sketching interfaces, and today we'll focus solely on websites, so if you're a web designer, this is for you. I'll show you how to draw common elements like buttons, cards, text, video, images, etc., and how to structure the most popular types of sections. Let's start. I'll be using Excalibur for this video. It's a really cool app. You can find the link in the description and there is a free version. But everything that we learned today is applicable to any technique that you use. Pen and paper, markers and whiteboard, maybe your tablet or an application like Excalibur. We're starting with a blank slate here, and the first thing that we want to do is to take a rectangle tool and draw our frame for the website. And right now we cannot see the dimensions anywhere, and it doesn't really matter that much for the low fidelity. I prefer to know the dimensions so that I can keep the proportions right. And to access dimensions in Excalibur, you can right-click on the canvas and enable Stats for Nerds. And right now in the corner here, if you select an element, you will see the dimensions. And the width here is definitely too much. Let's shrink it to something around 1440. Okay, this will be a better proportion for the website, and it's long, and if we want to make it even longer as we go with the sections, we can do it always. The first thing that we want to mark is the top navigation, so let's select the line, and let's draw the line here at the top. We can hold Shift to make the line straight. Now let's draw a logo in the left corner, so let's take the rectangle tool, let's draw a square. You can also hold Shift to keep the proportions, select the line tool, and cross it like this. This is how you mark the visual elements in general, illustrations, logos, maybe some more important, bigger icons. Now let's take the text tool and let's just write logo. Let's select this text and move it a little bit to the top. In my opinion, it's a little too big. Maybe we can go with large or even medium, depending on how it's gonna go. And I want to design a website for like a work management, project management tool. So on the right, I'll draw a button that says Get Started. So I'll add text to it. We can even add some background to this button. So let's go to the background and let's select the gray. And I think that maybe this darker one will be better. And I also want to add the text button that says login for people who are already users and they're just looking for the login to the system. And let's add a couple of tabs here at the top. Let's say that we want to go with solutions. Maybe we can add features and pricing. And let's align those three elements. So let's select them, align them horizontally, and let's place them in the middle of our mockup. And one more thing that I would like to add is for solutions and features to have a drop-down because it will be like an expandable menu. So I would like to draw a triangle, a chevron. I'll take the line and I'll just draw three lines. One, the second, and the third. I'll select all of them, Command G for grouping, maybe make it a little bit smaller. And I want to copy it to the solutions as well. So I'll select the element, hold Option and Shift, and just drag and copy. So I drag in the same direction. And now we can focus on our hero section. Let's say that I would like a very classic hero section with an image on the right. So I'll draw a rectangle again or a square. I can remove the background and draw a line just to mark that this is a graphical element like this. Then I would like to add a title. Let's say it will be a smarter way to work. And it is definitely too small. Let's try the XL size. It looks better, but I can make it even bigger. And let's keep the same margin on the left and then on the right. We can group the elements in the image so I can move it more freely. We have a smarter way to work, and I probably want to add some additional text here. Right now, I will not be working on what the text will be. I would like to just mark it with two lines like this. Let's align them to the left and let's keep them below the header. And then I would like to add the same call to action that we have in the corner here. So I will just drag it with Option key pressed and hold. I think I can make it slightly bigger. And the second call to action will be how it works. And we can remove the background from this button. So this will be a primary button for Get Started. And then how it works will be the secondary button. And I would like to select all of those elements on the left, Command G, and move them to the center of the illustration on the right. And we're ready with our hero section. There is one more thing about the hero section that I would like to show you, an alternative, let's say. So let's copy all of the elements that we have so far, including the frame, Option Shift to copy to the right. And what I would like to show you is to how to mark when illustration is taking the whole background here and text is on the surface of the illustration. So let's ungroup those two elements. And I would like to expand the rectangle to be all the way to the left, to the right, and a little bit to the bottom. And I want to also adjust those X's here, like this, and to the second corner. And right now you can already see that we have some issues already with readability. If I were to just move this text here, it will look a little weird. So what I can do here is for the illustration, for the rectangle in the background, add a background, a very light gray background with this fill that is very subtle. It's not a solid fill. And for the lines, I can also change color to something lighter, like light gray, maybe something like this. So you can sort of see them in the background, but they are not very prominent. And right now you can tell that this is an illustration with a title at the top. You're still watching, and you can give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos about sketching interfaces, working in Figma, getting hired as a UX designer, and creativity. Thank you. Let's come back now to our initial mockup, and usually the next section after the hero is something like logos or some kind of proof that this company is being used. So let's draw a line to separate the section. Even if in the final design you'll be using maybe colors or not separate sections that prominently, in low fidelity it's good to still use the lines. This one is a little too light. Let's go with something a little bit darker, but let's not go with just pure black. This is just a separation for the visuals here. And I would like to add a row of logos, and let's use the logo that we just drawn here. Let's select all of the elements, Command G, and the text as well, Command C to copy, and Command V to paste. I think we can add a little bit of a bigger text here, so maybe large. And let's make this slightly bigger as well, so that we have slightly bigger logos. And let's just copy that by dragging with Option and Shift, just maybe a couple times, like something like 5 times, so that we are still seeing everything, but they are spread apart. And I can make groups out of them, like this. Select all of them, and then use the Align tools to spread them horizontally. And let's add another line to separate this section, and we're ready with the logo section. And for the next section, I would like to list some benefits. Let's say that we want to have 3 benefits in this section. First, let's add a title, something like Build to Empower Your Team. Let's make it black and definitely bigger, like this. And let's say that for each benefit, I would like to have an illustration, so a rectangle like this, maybe with no background. And also let's mark it with a line. Command G for grouping, and let's copy it a couple of times. Let's align this middle one with the whole frame to the center. And now let's move the one on the left and on the right a little bit. And let's say that I would like to go with clarity, accountability, and impact. Don't mind the cheesy titles. We are here not for the copy. We're here to learn how to sketch interfaces for now. Let's change the size to large because it needs to be smaller than the main header. And I want to align it also centrally, let's say to those illustrations. And let's align all of them also horizontally. We will also need a little bit of text below each of them. So let's draw the lines as we did in the hero section. So let's say like 2 or 3 lines of text, something like this, maybe to the left. And we can also copy it to other sections. What I like to do is also to make one of them slightly longer, this one as well, and this one can be shorter. So there is some differentiation, so it doesn't look like we just copied it from between the sections. And maybe the next section can be a little bit different so that we don't overwhelm with content. Let's put something visual in. And I would like a full width video. This is something that a lot of companies do, just like a walkthrough or maybe some kind of tutorial that they want to show on the main page. So let's draw a rectangle like this. Let's keep the proportions as well for the video. Let's mark it with lines again. And to mark that this is a video, we will need a play icon. So I would like to draw a circle in the center. I would like to add a background, so just a white background here to cover the lines. And I would like a solid background. And now in the middle, I just would like to draw a play icon, which will be just a big triangle like this. And now we just have a video element for our website. The next thing that I would like to show you is to how to create a section for quotes from the customers or for the case studies. So let's expand our frame a little bit so that we can add more and more sections. And let's write a title, let's say used by world's best companies. And we want to have it in XL and in the center. And I would like to have a carousel where each page has 2 quotes. So the quote will be just lines of text, let's say from one of the customers, like this. Let's align it to the left. We can make it slightly bigger since we only have 2 quotes per page. Then we need a customer avatar. So let's say that it will be our circle. I will add a cross here as well, just to mark that this will be a picture. And let's add a customer name. Of course, we need to make it smaller, just medium text, and align to the left. And we want to just copy this whole section to the left, change the width of the lines a little bit so it looks like it's a little bit different. And one more thing, let's move the name a little bit to the top, and let's add a function of this person. So the CEO of Company X. And let's move the same title here. And to make it a carousel, we want to add chevrons to the right and to the left so that people can see more quotes if they want to. So let's go with a big chevron like this. Command G, let's drag it to the left, and let's say flip horizontal. So now our carousel is ready. And one more thing that I think we can add is the number of pages here. We can draw circles. So let's say this will be our first page. Let's say that we have 4 pages of quotes. And the first one should be filled with a solid background so that we can see that we are on the first page. Let's group all of them and center them to the big frame like this. And now we're ready with our section. And it's time for another big section, features. So maybe let's drag one of the lines here just to separate. And let's drag a title as well, because we will need another title. And we want to go with the features. So let's say something like task management features and capabilities. And what I would like to do here is to have a vertical illustration or some kind of visual element on the left. So I would like to mark it here and then have features listed here. So let's say I would like to have 6 features. It will be a grid of 2 by 3. Let's mark this element as a graphical element as well here. And I would like each feature to have a name. So let's say time tracking. It's a little too small, so let's change to large. And a couple of words about this particular feature. Let's say like up to 3 lines. Let's align them to the left again and to the text a little bit. And also I think we will need a really small icon for each of them just to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's mark an icon with a rectangle like this. And now I would like to basically copy it to create a grid. So let's move the elements slightly so it's a little bit more proportional. And it will be the second row. And let's say the third row like this. And let's change the name slightly. So let's say workflows, rules, custom fields, dependencies. And we can either change the title here if we have 6 features that we want to highlight, or we can remove the whole section and change it to call to action. So let's go and copy our call to action from the top, paste it here. So get started like this, and maybe copy some kind of text that we would like to add. So this element, the call to action, is inside of our grid, but it's slightly different. So it grabs a little bit of attention, and we have our first call to action that is within the website. And we will stop here for today in this first part of the video. And in the second part of the video, we will develop the website even further. We will have this highlight section, the section where we show different departments using the task management tool. We'll have this carousel of cards, the frequently asked questions section, the call to action, and the footer, which is really key for all the websites that you're designing. Thank you for joining me today. Now it's time for you to go and sketch websites for your own projects. Let me know in the comments how they turned out. Also, here I've selected some videos that you might like as well. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you over in the next one.